It's time for another tale from the glass-guarded world, with Brian as Paxton the human cleric, Ashley as Tara Dane the human fighter, Andy as Finn Mac Caspinner the gnome wizard, Danielle as Athelflad the halfling rogue and monk, and me, Mike, as the DM. Last time, Tara and Paxton rowed their new acquaintance Athelflad to shore after failing to open a frustrating magic door labeled Observers Only. They met up with Finn on the way back to New Tower as rain began to fall. They found the town arming for battle, anticipating an attack by blob monsters. They decided to have a quiet talk at the ruined Temple of Foresight, but were attacked by blobs intent on eating the roof. After dispatching the creatures and observing the death of a giant earthworm and many more blobs, they retired to New Tower for dinner and a well-deserved rest. The next day, they went back to the monastery in the Dead Lake. After repeated attempts, Paxton finally managed to open that magic door. Paxton, you open the door and let go of the handle, and you feel a sense of relief. And inside is a very dark room. Along the walls are gemstones embedded in the wall, and there is a looks like an altar or a pedestal in front of you in the middle of the room, and there is a pillow on the floor in front of it. And then behind that on the wall are just a few words, and it says, "Kneel and commune in peace."
I do that.
All right. So you walk up to the pillow and you kneel down.
Are we able to go into the room?
Sure, you can walk into the room.
Yes.
All right, you walk in the room. There are gemstones in the walls. There's a pillow on the floor. There's the words "kneel and commune in peace," and there's some sort of pedestal or altar and a pillow in front of it. And Paxton just walks up and kneels on the pillow. This feels familiar or comfortable. But you feel like you're forgetting something, or something's missing, or just something isn't quite there that's supposed to be there.
I stand up and I look at the jewels that are on the walls. About how big are they?
They vary in size. Some of them are an inch across. Some of them are a quarter inch across. They're just in a line around the wall. Different colors.
Are they loose?
You could try to pry one loose. Looks like they've been mortared into the wall.
Yeah, I want to try to pry one loose that's, I'm not sure what I should say out loud. Should I talk to you outside of the room?
I think I know what you're saying.
Okay.
So you pry an appropriate one loose, and, well, you try. You go up with what are you going to try to pry it out with?
Let's see. I have stuff in my explorer's pack. Maybe, I don't know. I've got chunks of armor. Does anyone have a dagger I could use?
I got a crowbar.
Yeah. Crowbar,
okay,
that would be
crowbar
perfect.
would work.
I lent him my crowbar.
All right, so you grab the crowbar, and with a crowbar, it's not that hard to pry a stone out. So you pry a stone out, and what are you going to do with that?
I slide it to the back of my head towards where that dent was.
All right, you put it in there, and feels comfortable, but nothing happens.
What are you doing?
Oh, just taking a shot in the dark.
What?
I don't really know, to be honest.
Oh. Can I see that gemstone?
Sure. I flip it over to you.
Grab it with the mage hand because I'm too short to actually grab it. I have my mage hand bring it down to me. Can I do... Do you need this right away, or can I go ahead and hold on to this for a minute?
Doesn't seem to be doing me any good.
Okay, can I do detect magic on it?
Sure, it is not magical. None of the gems in this room are magical.
Well, I think we just found a small treasure.
Part of me feels like this is a sacred room, but the other part of me wants to pop all the gems out and sell them.
I am definitely one for pillaging, because I was already eyeing them.
I'm kind of mad that I can't commune in peace at the altar.
I go and kneel at the pillow.
All right, the pillow does not respond.
Are there any books or anything other than the gyms in this
the
room?
room is very peaceful and quiet. You can't hear any of the birds outside or anything else when you're in here. But other than that, it is just a room with a comfortable pillow.
So I got nothing from sitting on that pillow other than it felt familiar.
Yeah, you feel like you're forgetting something. Like there's something, not that you're forgetting to do something, but there is something you have forgotten that you just don't understand.
Do you tell us that?
No.
It doesn't give you a magical feeling or anything. It just feels like a room.
This room was a letdown, I
Yeah.
say to everyone.
I think that
It's like Al Capone's vault.
I want to take a look at all the gyms and see if any of them speak to me, if any of them seem special. Would that be more of a perception or an investigation, you think?
If you want to look carefully around the room, then that is not just spot something, but if you want to actually search, then probably an investigate check would be best.
Yeah, I'd say that I want to look at each gym individually and see if any of them call out to me.
Great. So Paxton's going to investigate the room. Anybody else doing anything?
I'll help him.
All right. So Finn and Paxton. All right. So both of you, as you're searching the room, so both of you find the following. You're sort of doing a catalog of what's available in the room, and you find there are a total of 64 precious gemstones. I'll just inventory all of them if you want. You want me to just list what there is?
Sure.
Or do you want me? Okay. So there's one clear diamond, which must be extremely valuable. There are 2 purple corundums, one of which Paxton has pried out of the wall. 5 red and pink striped agates. 3 emeralds. 8 rubies. 16 topaz. And 32 pearls. And there are also 200 glass gems, or, costume jewelry of various colors, and they're not worth very much. But as you're searching the room and investigating these gems closely, you both discover about the same time that there are 4 gems that can be pushed.
As soon as I find one that can be pushed, I push it.
Well, yeah, you discover they can be pushed actually by pushing them. You're just feeling around them and you realize, oh, wait, this can be pushed. So the gems that can be pushed are 1 agate, 1 emerald, 1 corundum, and 1 pearl.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And Finn, you also realize, searching around the room, that there's a section of wall behind the altar with stones that don't quite line up with the neighboring stones. It looks like either slightly shoddy stonework or, I don't know, it just looks a little
Secret
strange.
door?
It could be, but you don't see any visible gaps.
Okay. So, where are the 4 pushable ones in relation to each other?
There's one on the wall with the shoddy stonework. There's one on the left wall, there's one on the right wall, and there's one on the wall with the door that you came in through.
Are they perfectly
No. I mean, they're not lined up with each other, for example. They don't perfectly divide the room. It just seems to be there's one on each wall, near the middle of each wall, but not exactly in the middle.
Okay.
When you press in, do they stay pressed in?
No.
Like a toggle?
No.
Do they do anything?
They make a satisfying click.
Huh.
Y'all gonna tell us about these?
Yeah,
You can see them doing this. You can see
Oh.
Paxton going click, 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 click. Huh.
Can I do a wisdom check to see if anything in my past teachings?
You've never been in here, right? So, and in fact, you know that Dunstan has never been in here either.
Okay.
So they don't actually know what's in this room. I will say you do remember him mentioning that he had heard that observers had visited in the past, and that at some point some observers visited and several monks went missing after that. And the rumor was that they had abandoned the island with some observers, but no one really knows. But that was before his time.
Can I investigate the rest of the room to see if there's anything else going on other than the gyms?
Sure.
Like look under the pillow or whatever.
Yeah. You don't see anything else of interest. The room looks like it hasn't been used in a long time. There's a layer of dust on everything. It's quiet and peaceful and comfortable. But no, you don't see anything else other than these gems along the walls, some of which can be depressed. And of course, I'm sorry, there's also the wall, the words that are engraved on the wall, right?
Two things. What are those words again?
The words are kneel and commune in peace.
You mentioned something about some gems that didn't look lined up with all the others.
Well, the 4 gems that can be depressed are not
Lined up.
They're not lined up with each other. They don't look like they're not directly across from each other. There's just one on each wall. There's no elegant symmetry to them or anything like that.
What's the type of gem that starts with a C again?
Corundum. Corundum.
All right, I got an idea. I don't say anything about this. I just walk over to the pearl, press it first.
Okay.
And then the emerald and press it.
Uh-huh.
And then the agate and press it.
Uh-huh.
And then the corundum and press it.
Uh-huh.
And then the emerald and press it.
All right. You press the gems in that order, and silently, a door behind the altar opens where that shoddy stonework was.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I look really amazed and in shock. And I'm like, what happened?
The gems spell peace.
What?
Oh.
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 Tara is still confused. I guess she doesn't know geology.
All right. Well, there's a door open. The wall opens apparently by magic or maybe some mechanism that you can't see, but you don't hear anything. And you can see that there are stone stairs winding downward, apparently carved out of the stone of the island itself. There is no source of light on the stairs, and the air is cold and still. A single pearl is embedded in the stone on the inside of the door.
What about a passive perception to see if there's...
You can use active perception if you want to look. Passive
Okay.
is just when I say you notice something without you having to actively say anything.
Okay.
All right, so you want to actively look in the stairs?
Just to see if there's any sort of odd smells. Do I hear any noises down there?
No, you don't notice anything. Are you all looking and listening?
I'm taking a torch out and lighting it.
Okay.
I actually want to do an investigation check on the stonework. I want to see if I could see anything about how it was made, if there's any engravings, anything like that.
It looks a little crude, so you would guess this is not dwarven work.
Okay.
It looks old. And also, you would guess that there's been some water that has dripped down the walls. There are streaks. And you can, in fact, as you're listening and standing at the top of the stairs, you can hear the sound of water dripping occasionally from below. And this cool air is sort of slowly wafting toward you.
Well, shall we find our way down?
I'm already headed there with
not
the
expecting
torch.
that here.
I want to investigate that pearl that
Okay,
you said
on the
is
back of the
embedded
door?
into the door.
Okay?
Yeah, does it push in, or is there...
It does.
Does anything happen when I push it in?
The door closes.
Okay, so it's just like a doorknob?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
As I run behind Tara, I say, "Don't take the diamond yet. That one's mine."
How big is that diamond? Is it about the same size as the corundum that I originally tried to put in my head?
It is a big, clear diamond, yes.
Does it fit comfortably into the back of my head?
It is the wrong shape.
Okay.
I will go ahead and defile this place after I leave it.
I
Or
see.
right before I leave it.
Well, Paxton already pried a gem out of the wall, but not one of the button ones. But all right,
Can I stick that gem that I pried out of the wall back in just for now?
it won't stay very well. You would need to use a mending spell. A mending spell would put it back in
I can
place.
do that.
I have mending too.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I put it back in and mend it into the wall.
All right, it is mended back into the wall. All right, what now?
I'm headed down the stairs.
All right, Tara has her torch out and she heads down the stairs. The stairs wind downward for about 40 feet, you would guess, 40 feet down, ending in a wooden door on rusty hinges. There is no keyhole, just a doorknob in the middle of the door.
I sigh, but try to open the door.
Tara, you attempt to open the door. I need you to make a dexterity check.
Oh, It wasn't good. It was a 1.
All right, a 1. All right, so you turn the doorknob, and as you start to pull on the door rattles on its hinges, and the doorknob comes off in your hand, and the door falls away from you into the room with a thunderous crash and just shatters on the floor.
Wow.
That was really bad wood.
This must be old.
Yeah. Can't mend that.
So the door is in pieces, and you can see the room beyond. It looks like a natural hollow space in the rock that has been further hollowed out to create a roughly circular room 30 feet in diameter. A solid-looking wood and steel door is across the room on the opposite side. That door looks, well, from here you're not sure, but you're guessing it's sturdier than the door that just slammed down onto the ground.
Okay.
The room appears empty, aside from some large stalactites and stalagmites, and you can hear water dripping from above, and there are a few small puddles in the ground. And the air is very cold and still.
I push my torch inside the room and see if it, do an investigation to see if we see anything else about this room other than it being an empty room.
All right. You don't see anything in particular in your investigation check that I haven't already described, but you do think maybe you hear a whispering sound.
And then we all do investigation checks as well?
Yeah.
All right. Yes. You can all hear the whispering sound, but Paxton, you're pretty sure the sound is coming from 3 sources in the room, around the room. You can't see anything though, but you think that there are 3 sources of whispering noises, and it sounds like they're getting closer.
Is like Final Fantasy battle music starting?
Yeah.
As you're all looking around the room trying to figure out what's going on, 3 inky black shapes separate from the walls, and they start moving toward you. And you can hear one of them whisper, "Finally." And the second one says, "Freedom." And the third one says, "Our task fulfilled." And they drift toward you.
Who are you?
I need you all to roll for initiative.
Ah, damn. I was hoping we could talk to them.
Ooh.
18.
They rolled a 1.
19.
6.
They really need to stretch before they fight.
I think they've been in the walls for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little cramped up in there.
Tara, what was your initiative?
16.
And they end up with a 3. So the first person to go is going to be Finn. Finn, there are these shadows. They were sliding along the floor, and now they're sort of raising up into the air. And they're making some whispering and, let's say, menacing noises. What is your marching order? Tara is in front, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I rushed in behind her, so I should be second.
All right.
I'm behind him.
And then you were mended the thing, so you should be last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Tara, you're up front. But, Finn, what are you going to do?
Okay. As a free action, can I try to talk to him? Can I try to say...
You can talk to them.
What is your mission that you needed to fulfill? We may not be enemies.
Kill the observer.
Well, none of us are observers.
So is there anything you want to do other than talk? You got 6 seconds in a round, right? So is there anything you want to do?
Fair point. I'm just going to go ahead and prepare mage armor because I don't want to attack them first in case we can do anything.
All right. Cast mage armor.
Yeah.
Ethelflad, what are you doing? You're behind Finn in the
Yeah.
stairwell.
They haven't attacked us or anything,
No,
so
they are going to. It's pretty
Okay.
unambiguous.
okay. I go ahead and start stabbing them with, or trying to stab them with the short sword. Am I within 5 feet?
No, you are actually behind Finn, who is behind Tara, who is sort of in the doorway. So
Okay,
no.
I'm gonna go stealth.
Well, you're a small creature, so you can just go through all of us if you
Yes,
want to
you
cut
could-
to front.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you're a halfling, you can move through them. If they were enemies, you wouldn't provoke an attack of opportunity. But because of your small size, you can move through them and move to the front if you want to.
Okay, I'll move to the front.
All right, you're going to attack the nearest one of these.
Yep.
with, what is it you're attacking with?
Let's do the short sword.
Make your attack roll.
Okay. 2.
That
Plus
does-
5 attack bonus.
That does not hit. The creature sort of drifts away from your swing and ignores you. All right, the next person is Tara. Tara, what are you doing?
Am I able to hold my shield and torch at the same time?
It's a one-handed shield, right? I'm going to assume you
Like
could,
drop
or you
it?
could just drop the torch on the ground and let it shine there if you wanted to.
Okay. So I drop the torch, pull out my longsword, and I decide to attack one of the things. I got a total of 10.
10 does not hit. Once again, the creature drifts away from you and avoids your swing. And that brings us to Paxton.
So if I want to do a perception check on these creatures, would that be a free action, bonus action, or action?
I'm gonna say if you're just looking, I'm gonna call that a free action. If you were going to investigate, I would make it count as an action.
Okay, I want to... But what do I see when I'm looking at these things? I'm trying to really look hard for any...
They look like cloaked figures. You can't make out any real features. They look like the shadowy cloaked figures. They almost look like actual shadows.
So they look incorporeal?
Yes.
Okay. As my action, I cast Sanctuary on myself.
Am I within... Oh, I'm sorry. Still within 5 feet?
Of
Am I within 5 feet of the...
these creatures?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They're all sort of crowding. They're moving to crowd around the doorway. What's the difficulty on the on that wisdom save?
Let's see, my spell save DC is 13.
All right. There's 1 failure and 2 successes.
Okay.
So one of them hisses loudly and says, "Wow, where?" And the other 2 continue to move forward. And that brings us to them. They will drift right by Athelflaed and right by Tara and right by Finn. They're going to ignore all of you except for the one that's confused. The one that's confused that can't find Paxton will attack Athelflaed. The creature swats at you in frustration. It seems like these ghostly, shadowy arms reach toward you and strike you. You are grabbed by it, and it does 5 points of necrotic damage. And also, your strength is reduced by 1 as it drains from energy from you.
Okay.
And the other 2 float right past you and Tara and Finn, and all 3 of you can make attacks of opportunity if you want to.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and do that.
So Athelflaed, make an attack of opportunity first, since they're first going by you.
Okay. Roll
And add your-
11?
That's close. You can't quite get your weapon to find purchase on the shadowy figure. You're very close though. Go ahead, Tara.
9.
Again, you can't quite find the right place to stab. And
This is-
Finn,
The roll for the first one, right?
you only get 1 attack of opportunity because it's a reaction. You only get 1 reaction per turn.
You're right. Okay. I didn't hit. I got an 8. No, wait. 10.
Ooh, man, the rolls
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's just not good. They make it past all of you without injury and go straight for Paxton. They cannot, however, get past his shield.
Nice.
They both try to coat him in shadow, but they simply cannot get past his giant shield. And so he's standing on the up the stairs a bit with these 2 shadows clawing at him. All right, and that brings us back to the top of the order, which means it's Finn's turn again.
Okay. So since Athelflaed moved forward and Tara's in front of me, between Paxton and myself, the only things are the shadows,
That's
correct? Can I position myself in a way so that I can cast Burning Hands and I just hit them like at the end of my range? I'm just trying to cast it in a way so that if he has his shield up, the fire will hit the shield but not hit him.
Paxton's too close. You
Too
would
close.
catch Paxton. You could turn sideways and burn only one of them.
Hmm.
In other words, you could sort of point toward the wall and catch only one of them in your cone.
Yeah. How much health do you have?
Full 15.
Oh, 15's not a lot. I don't want to kill you. Okay. So I'm guessing if I cast something like Thunder Wave, I would hit him as well.
And Thunderwave makes a cube, But again, you could turn it so that you only hit one of them if you wanted to.
Okay, no. In that case, I'll just simply go ahead and firebolt one of them.
All right, make your attack roll.
15.
That is a hit.
Awesome.
All right, you strike one of them in the back with a bolt of fire.
And that deals 4 damage.
Now, you do notice that your bolt of fire, while it does injure the creature and it cries out in surprise, it does not have quite the effect you were hoping for. It looks like they may be resistant.
Okay.
And that is, now it's Athelflad's turn. You're now at the bottom of the stairs, and there is one shadow attacking you, Athelflad, because it can't figure out where Paxton is.
Okay, I'll try stabbing him with
All right.
the rapier. Ooh, 3.
No, once again, the creature evades your swing, and you cannot quite find a good place to stab it. And that means it is Tara's turn.
Let's see. Yay, total of 15 this time.
15.
While I'm, of course, per Tara's standard, is she's stabbing with a longsword at one of the ones that is attacking Paxton.
All right. You hit. Roll your damage.
Okay. Got 8.
8 points of damage.
Yes.
All right.
And I
Again.
want to actually use Action Surge and take another action to try and hit one again. Unless the sword seems ineffective.
So you're attacking with the longsword, and it does hurt the creature. It doesn't seem as effective as you had hoped, but you did hurt it.
Okay. So I'm going to try and do it again. 20, unnatural.
That is definitely a hit. You've once again stabbed the creature in the back, if it has a back.
All right, it's 4 damage.
All right. Again, it doesn't seem to take as much damage from this as you had hoped, but it is injured by that. And that means it is now Paxton's turn.
So whenever I was doing a perception check on them last time, did I get the impression that they might be undead?
That is a very good guess, yes. This is probably a form of undead. Do they need to save every turn when you are protected by Sanctuary? Every round?
I believe that it's any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
So they only need to choose to attack me.
Yep.
And they have to overcome wisdom
Every
to
time
do
they
that.
choose to attack, they have to save. Right.
So I'm not going to damage them, but I'm going to try this Channel Divinity turn undead.
Excellent. I've
So
forgotten how that works.
I shove my shield in the ground and I say, "My life is not yours to take," and go away. I've never done this before. I don't know what it looks like.
Okay.
So
And how does turn undead work?
let's see. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censuring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away as possible from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action.
All 3 of them have to make wisdom saves. What's the difficulty? It's 13 again?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. All of them failed. All 3 of them let out a hideous screaming noise and flee back down the stairs. Well, 2 of them flee down the stairs. The third one that was attacking Athelflad flees to a corner of the room. All 3 of them flee to a corner of the room. This large round chamber in front of you. They all run behind one of the stalagmites on the floor.
Great job.
What do you say we check out what's behind this door?
Well, I kind of want to kill them.
Huh? Go for
Yep.
it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you wanted to, they fled by the 3 of you. You could take attacks of opportunity if you want. However, that would break the turn, right? Because it says that as soon as as long as they're attacked, they don't have to keep running, right? Or as soon as they're injured.
As soon as they take damage, yeah.
Right?
I kind of want to wait for all of them to get into a corner together, because I can just do Burning Hands on all 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they are all cowering up against a wall in the large round chamber in front of you. And in fact, as you're going to walk over to them to burn them, you see that there are on the ground 3 corpses hidden behind, sort of stashed up, seated behind, or leaning up against one of these stalagmites on the floor. And Athelflad, are you entering the room as well?
Yep.
Or you're already near there? You realize they're all wearing monk robes.
Oh wow! What stage of decay are they in?
They have been there for a long time.
Okay. Can I do a perception check? Maybe something that I might know about the attire?
They're very similar to the monk robes that you're used to wearing.
Okay.
That Dunstan and Ned wore. They look maybe slightly old-fashioned in comparison, but and they're very rotted. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
So Finn, you can see there are these three shadows crammed up against the wall, still trying to flee from Paxton, but there's nowhere really to go. You're going to walk up and cast Burning Hands on them?
They're cramped up against the wall near their own corpses, right?
That's right.
Okay, can I cast Burning Hands in a way that I will hit them and the corpses?
You want to burn the corpses too? Yes, you could do that.
Is it
Maybe
okay with you
someone
guys
should-
if I burn the corpses? I don't know if there's loot.
So as soon as you attack them, they're going to be out of being turned.
Right.
Maybe we should check the corpses first before we burn them.
You've
Let's
only
do
got a
that.
minute, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we have a minute. That would be 10 turns.
Right.
So we would be able to check the corpses, and if nothing in like 30 seconds, then just burn them.
Athelflad's already checking out the corpses a bit. I'll roll an investigation check for her. You don't find anything on them with your quick check other than their robes.
Okay.
Can I do an investigation check as well?
Finn, you're very thorough. You tear the robes off, shake them. Nothing.
Okay. Well, anyone have
I
an
guess
issue with me
since you're
burning
doing
them?
an investigation check, you can see that all three of them show signs of having had their throats severed with a very,
wow.
very strong slice to their necks. You can see the damage to their spine, the front of their spines, the front of their bones around the neck area.
Okay. Well, do you guys...
Tara
Are you
looks
guys
thoroughly
okay with me just
disgusted
burning
and
them?
just wants to kill the beast.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
Burning
get
it.
this over with. Okay. I'm going to use my last 2 spell slots and do Augmented Burning Hands.
Great.
Okay. So that would be a...
Wait, before you do that, if we're just not necessarily going in turn order, I want to bless you first before you do this.
Oh, okay. I'm down for that.
Well, that increases damage.
I thought it did. Let me check real quick. Yeah, you bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range, which is going to be those 3. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw.
Yeah, but Burning Hands doesn't have an attack roll.
Yeah. They do a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah,
So-
you could curse them instead of blessing these guys if you have that option.
I do not.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 8 plus proficiency plus intelligence plus the 2
Yes.
for it being an augmented spell.
Yes.
So it's a DC 16.
Dexterity save.
Dexterity saving throw DC 16.
Failure.
Okay.
Failure. Failure. All 3 of them take full damage.
5, 6, 7, and 11 damage for all of them.
11 damage for all of them.
And after casting that, I just sit there slightly exhausted because that was most of the magic that I had.
All right. Unfortunately, that does not destroy them because they're resistant to fire.
Yeah.
However, that did hurt them quite badly. And they all turn around. So we're back in initiative. Finn has just gone. Athelflad, these 3 shadowy figures turn around, and they look like they're ready to rejoin the fight. What would you like to do?
I'd like to attack.
The one that she stabbed several times, how does it look?
Tattered.
Tattered.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
No, I'm afraid once again you just haven't. You're not used to fighting shadows. They're just not your thing. Tara,
Total 9.
do you get a bonus attack again like you did your previous round?
That was action surge,
Action
and I can
surge,
only
you
use
can
it
do that.
again after a rest.
Okay, after a short rest. And Paxton, what are you doing?
There's not really anything I can do to help out with damaging these things. I want to spend my turn doing an investigation check on them to look for anything that might jump out to me, like
Now,
how to stop
I
them.
will say this: now that we're making attack rolls again, bless would actually be helpful in this circumstance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, especially since our rolls are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good point. I bless you all.
Gesundheit.
So you can all add a d4 to your attack roll.
Needed.
Great. Now the shadows get to go. And you're still affected by Sanctuary, right? What's the duration of that?
Actually it says if the warded creature makes an attack or casts a spell that affects an enemy creature. So I think turning undead.
And Sanctuary.
Okay. Alright, well all three of them go for Paxton, which means they once again... where are you in relation to everyone else? You're standing behind them again, or...?
I think I'm standing over by the door, but probably farthest away from...
Alright. Well, then once again, they're going to attempt to drift past the three of you, Tara and Athelflaed and Finn. So again, you all get attacks of opportunity.
Okay. Who's first?
Athelflaed, go ahead.
Oh, okay. 2.
No. You weren't expecting them to drift right past you again, and you weren't quite prepared.
Do I get to add my bless to this?
Yes, if you want to.
I do.
Actually, I guess you're supposed to. Does it last only for one attack, or how long does bless last?
It doesn't say only the first attack, so I think for a full minute you can add d4s to whatever.
Yeah, you can add d4s to whatever you're doing here. So what did you get?
Unnatural 20 and 4 damage.
All right. So you stab one of them. Now it's hard. Now that they're all sort of mingling around, it's hard to tell which one is which. But you've injured one of them. Finn?
I want to aim for the one that hurt the most, the one that she's hurt. Oh, wait. And I add a d4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 13?
That's a hit.
Ah, sweet. Okay.
With a firebolt?
No, I don't have the feat that lets me use as a spell as a reaction, so I'm attacking it with my dagger.
I see.
So that is 4 damage. Or, sorry. This is actually the first time that I attack with a weapon. So, do I add my dexterity to that?
You can use it as a finesse weapon if you want, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So would I add that to my damage as well?
I think that's right, yeah.
So 6 damage.
6 damage, all right. And now they all go for Paxton. And once again, they cannot get past that shield. Nice. It's actually working this time.
Yeah. See, I told you two-handed shields were awesome.
It's amazing. They're all sort of crowding around him, but he just keeps sort of, as one of them swings, he just pivots the shield to block them and then pivots the shield a different direction. It's very effective. So that brings us back to Finn.
You almost fight like a dwarf. Okay.
Thanks.
Let me use Firebolt on the one that I heard previously. 17.
That is definitely a hit. You smack him from behind. They're all crowded around Paxton.
So 7 damage with a
Firebolt.
Firebolt.
With a poof. This one goes up in a burst of smoke, and you hear a voice, no. And a little gray cloud appears and drifts off to the east.
Okay.
And that is makes it Athelflaed's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna try a different 20. I'm gonna attack with the rapier. I'm gonna try to stab him again. Ooh, 20.
Nice.
A natural?
A natural 20.
Oh.
And
She's got the hang of it now.
Yeah. I think I could do sneak attack for this.
Yes, because they are adjacent to Paxton, which means you get your sneak attack and you get to roll your regular damage twice.
Okay. D6. So that's a 4.
With the sneak attack?
Yep.
All right. And then you roll your regular weapon damage
D8.
twice.
8.
Total?
Yep.
8, and then the 4 from before?
Yep. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I did 4, rolled an 8, and let me roll again. It's a 1 plus 3 piercing.
1 plus 3?
So you
Your
get
strength?
1 plus 3, 8 plus 3, and then the plus 4.
Yep.
Okay.
12, 4, yeah.
It's gone. Yes, it. You rip through it, and it sort of falls in tatters. The shadow sinks into the ground, and once again you hear no. And a little gray spirit drifts up into the air and drifts off.
I mockingly go.
There's only one left, and that brings us to Tara.
Tara is attacking the last one, and she gets a over 20, and and she rolls 13 damage.
Nice.
Dang.
All right, it still survives. Paxton, what would you like to do?
So this thing's probably not looking too good, right? I mean,
No,
worse.
it looks like it's like not
an
quite
undead
as
shadow.
impressive a shadow as it used to be. A shadow of its former self.
Can I grapple it?
I guess you could try.
Okay, I guess that would just be making a strength check against it?
Opposed athletics, or I guess it could use acrobatics if it wanted to try to get away, but it's going to try to use acrobatics to try to get away. But yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Make your athletics check.
13?
It rolled a 1.
Okay. So I want to grab it as my action, and I want to look it in the eyes and say, why are you trying to kill me? What do you have against observers?
All right, it says, it was my last task.
From who?
From one of your kind.
What was their name?
Doesn't answer.
Well, I look over at you all, and I'm like, I've got it grappled anytime, y'all.
I guess it does answer in one way. It says, die. Is that an answer?
It's a type of answer.
Okay. All right, and that makes it the shadow's turn. Yeah, it does not manage to hit you, but you can feel its cold, necrotic force flowing off of it. You would really prefer not to be holding this thing.
Yeah, sounds icky.
Finn, your turn.
I try to blast it in the face without hitting Paxton.
Make an attack roll.
10. At least I still did not roll a 1 and hit you in the face.
You're still blessed. Did you add 1d4?
I did not. 14. All right.
You hit.
Then...
You're welcome.
Thank you. I only deal 1 damage with the damage reduction.
Really kind of saved yourself with that bless anyway.
Athelflaed?
All right, I'll go ahead and try stabbing him with the rapier again.
Stab shallowly, please.
10.
Plus the d4.
Plus
Oh
d4?
yeah, plus d4.
Blessing is really
2.
nice.
You hit. You've stabbed it twice now.
Okay. Do it. I still roll the d8
And you
for
it still counts as a sneak attack.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, as a monk rogue, do you get sneak attacks and the extra attacks from from martial arts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
it's
she gets 3 attacks. Damn.
Well, she's not attacking unarmed though. She's attacking with a weapon.
yeah, and
Okay.
I have light armor on.
Sneak
And
attack
also-
is not an
Oh,
extra
okay,
attack,
okay.
it's just damage.
And also, she's only a first level monk, so she hasn't got a lot of the cool abilities like flurry of blows and other things that she would get at higher levels.
Oh, okay.
So right now, attacking with a sword is probably a good choice.
Yeah.
Also, if you're fighting the undead, it's probably not good to punch them with your hands. It's probably good to use a weapon.
At least the incorporeal kind.
That's right.
Okay, so I roll.
Well, your sneak attack and your weapon damage.
All right. 7 and a 4, plus
11?
3 piercing. Yeah.
What's the plus 3 piercing for?
The rapier. The
Oh, the plus 3 is your attack bonus. That's not your. Do you get a damage bonus as well?
oh no the attack bonus is plus
Oh.
5.
Oh, you're using it as a finesse weapon, right? So you get a dexterity bonus. Oh, I see. All right, so I'm sorry. What was your total in? 14? Is that what it came out to?
So 7, 4.
Yeah, 14.
Plus 3, yeah,
Yep.
14.
All right,
14.
poof. Once again, you've torn through it like a sheet, and it hisses, no, fail, and disappears. And a little gray cloud, a gray mist rises from the ground and drifts off.
Tara looks at Paxton expecting answers.
And the room feels a bit warmer. It doesn't feel quite as cold as it did before.
So that was pretty nuts, huh?
Sure.
So, anything you want to share, buddy?
Not necessarily.
They seem like they were attacking you, and they say they only want to kill observers.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you noticed that too, huh?
Yeah. I guess we should keep going to see what we can find.
Yeah. I
So
agree
there's
with
still
that.
this door with a doorknob in the middle of it, and is a more solid looking door. It looks like a steel reinforced wooden door at the other end of this round room.
Oh, I look at Tara and give her a look like, we'll deal with this later, sort of thing.
Tara just tells Paxton to go open the door.
I'm more afraid of Tara than of those ghosts, so I go and do it.
So you walk up to the door. There's a doorknob in the middle of the door. You are going to open it.
I want to do an investigation check, first, because, I don't know, this could be trapped.
Nothing jumps out at you as an obviously dangerous threat of any kind. There's no visible trap. You don't see any keyhole mechanism or anything like that in the door. It appears to just be a door.
Does this look familiar, like the door that was on the observer room that shocked me?
It looks like each of these doors, all three of them are similar, except that the first one wasn't steel reinforced. It was just a wooden door, but magically protected. The second door was of a similar style as the first door, but was built cheaply and it fell apart. Mm-hmm. And then this third door has steel framing around it, and is in pretty good shape.
All right, I grab the handle and pull. All
right, it's actually a push. So you push the door open, and it's unlocked. Nothing surprising happens. This is a 20-foot by 20-foot room with a 12-foot ceiling and shelves carved into the rock walls. A wooden desk and chair stand by the wall across from you, and they appear to be in relatively good condition. To the right stands a wooden bed frame with a lumpy-looking mattress, rotted sheets, and a pillow, and they don't look like they would make for a comfortable rest. You can see an unrolled scroll sitting plainly on the desk, as well as a quill and inkwell. 2 codices, or books, stand on the shelves, as well as a small wooden chest. A large chest sits at the foot of the bed. Both chests are open, and a set of robes, much like Athelflaed's, dusty but in better condition, are draped across the head of the bed.
The robes are in better condition than what Athelflaed is wearing?
Hers are torn and patched and worn out. These are old, but they are in good condition. They're not moth-eaten or dirty.
Do they look exactly like mine?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no, like, special emblems or anything on it? Okay.
So essentially this looks like a bedroom. There's a bed, there's a desk.
Yep.
I make my way over to the books.
There are 2 books, and you can read the titles on them. One of them is called Herbs of Iron, and the other one is called How to Win Allies and Influence Humanoids.
Yes. Herbs of Iron. And the second one?
How to Win Allies and Influence Humanoids.
I flipped through to see if there's any magical guidance in it.
That book is a guide to becoming a more persuasive, likable person.
I'll grab that.
And the other book is a book on plants, useful and poisonous, which are native to the Iron Empire.
That could be useful.
Yeah.
There's also a scroll, right?
There's a note or a piece of paper on the table, on the desk at the back of the room. Would you like to investigate that?
Yes.
Yep.
For the listeners, I just threw the note at her. Sorry.
Go ahead and read it.
If you want to.
Okay. It says, Frith, I hope you found your way here safely. It's getting harder to travel no matter what part of the world we visit. I've heard that there are still friendly communities in the Great Forest, and Great Forest is emphasized. I'm going to head there. I'd suggest you go there too, but I've found you've already burned some bridges there, both male and female. Branching out, huh? I used to feel hurt, but now I see that's just the way you operate. Always looking out for number 1. Please don't tell anyone where I'm headed. I've left you a few things, but they're the sorts of things that would be more useful if you use them to help others. I still believe there's someone good in there somewhere. Stay safe. There aren't many of us left, and I haven't heard of anyone being able to commune and report for years. Not that I'm any closer to figuring out why we're even trying. We'll probably never know. Don't try to follow me. Be sure to grab the robes and tip the monks on your way out. They're keeping our secrets at great risk to themselves. Illness. P.S. The tome on the shelf can't be used again for another 30 years, so leave it here. I have other plans for it. Wow, that's interesting. Can I do a wisdom check on any of the names, like the Great Forest or illness?
Okay. What's your history bonus?
+1.
All All right. So you know the Great Forest. It's one of the 4 great nations of the world. It's occupied by elves and druids and rangers and those sorts. And that is over to the east of where you are. And Dunstan hasn't really talked much about observers. He didn't talk about anyone visiting or tipping the monks or anything like that. So you're really not quite sure what some of this is about.
Wow, this is confusing.
Tara is ignoring books and went to the chests.
So there are 2 chests. The small chest has, well, you want to look inside that?
Yes.
So there is a silver ring inside it, and there is a scroll as well.
Can I investigate the scroll?
It is a magical scroll.
Okay,
With a
I go
spell
to
on
the
it.
big chest.
The big chest. So the large chest contains a hefty steel mace with a plain-looking head, but magical runes carved into the handle. And then there's also, in the chest, an ivory and mithril hilt with no blade. And then there are some dwarven runes inscribed on the bottom of the pommel.
And is this like a longsword hilt or like a dagger hilt?
It is long enough to possibly be a longsword.
Okay. I pick up the mace
All right.
and I also pick up the hilt.
Okay.
And I collected the stuff from the other chest too, but I'm going to take the scroll over to Finn because clearly I don't know anything about magic.
Finn, you want to investigate the scroll?
Yes, and when she hands it over to me, and as I see that she's grabbing the other stuff, I ask her, what does the hilt say? Because we both understand Dwarvish.
The bottom of the pommel says, Darbin's defending any blade.
Okay. Can I sit down? Well, first I'm going to look through the scroll, and then I want to sit down and while we're investigating the room, do a detect magic ritual. But first the scroll. So yeah.
Do an
What's on the
arcana
scroll?
check. What's your arcana bonus?
I want to say it's +6.
Or arcana.
+6.
It is a scroll of mass healing word.
Ooh.
Okay, definitely not something.
Now
I
that
can
is a
learn.
3rd level spell.
And do I know how to read any of the runes of the mace or?
No, they're magical runes, but Finn could make an arcana check and try to figure out if he knows what the runes on the mace say.
I
Or what
should have
they're
to Finn,
Let's
too.
do that.
Again, you said it's +6?
Yes.
You don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah, aside from that, I guess while everyone's investigating, I'm going to do a detect magic on the room and then on the 2 items that she found. Well, 3 items because I want to check out the ring as well.
The ring is magic.
Okay.
The robes are magic.
Okay.
The mace is magic. The hilt is magic. The scroll is magic. One of the books is magic.
Which book?
Not the herb book. The
Sweet. The one I
How to
took.
Win Allies and Influence Humanoids. That book is magical.
In that case, what kind of magic are the ring, the mace, and the pommel?
So the ring is abjuration. The mace is necromancy. And the Darbin's defending any blade is evocation. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. It's abjuration.
That's interesting. And the robes?
You pick up a couple different auras, but the one of the strongest ones is illusion.
Okay. Well, I share with the group the general gist of what these items are for. Apparently, the dwarven hilt and the ring are for defending, and then the robes must be some sort of illusion or something to help hide you. From what I can tell, this must have been to help observers get around whenever they were trying to hide or whenever it became really dangerous. I say that we stick to our original plan. Go ahead and take anything that's important here and still go about what we were doing, but not talk with the magistracy about what we found here. I'm sure we'll be able to find more information as we go along.
Yeah, they don't need to know about any of this.
No. And let's make sure to close this on our way out.
I want to rifle through the bed. I want to make sure that there's nothing under the pillow or under the mattress or under the bed itself.
You all want to just do some thorough searching while you're at it?
Yeah.
Just investigate the room.
Finn, you don't find anything other than what I've already described, except for Finn. Finn finds that pinned under the mace, and no one noticed it, was a single gold coin. There's
Cool.
nothing special about the gold coin. It's not magic. But that encourages you to search the chest a little bit more thoroughly, and you decide that probably some other things had been in the chest, but they've been taken. You think maybe some potion bottles, judging by how the cloth in the chest is depressed, and probably some more coins were in here as well.
Okay.
So there was probably more in here, but it was taken. This other stuff whoever was here last decided not to take it.
Okay.
I just want to play with the items more, so I try to put on the ring.
So here's how we're gonna do this. Normally, the standard rule is that for items that you can't tell what they can do, if they require attunement, you can spend a short rest with them and attune to them and learn their abilities. And for some items, we'll allow that. For more powerful items, I'll require you to sort of figure out over time how they work. But for simpler items, simply taking a short rest, playing around with it, you'll be able to figure out what they do. Okay?
Okay.
Mhm.
So who's playing with what? You're playing with the ring, Tara?
Sure.
All right. You guys going to take a short rest then?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took
Okay.
some.
I guess
I,
I'll grab the hilt.
At the end of your short rest,
I'll take the robes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, at the end of your short rest, your strength returns, Athelflad.
Okay.
All right, so
Athelflad, since these are the robes of your people, I think you should get first dibs on them if you want them. If you'd rather have the mace, that's understandable.
I guess I'll. How tattered are my?
your robes are in rough shape.
Okay, I'll take one.
Now, these robes are for a taller person, but you can cinch them up and make them work.
Okay.
We could probably mend them.
Mhm.
You could trim them and mend them, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with the ring. Let's call this the Ring of the Helpful Ally.
Okay.
Once per day, the wearer of this ring can cast Mage Armor or Armor of Agathis on someone other than the wearer.
Okay.
And this does require attunement, so you can only attune to 3 items at a time, so this would be one of your items.
Okay.
The robes. Let's call these the Robes of Hiding in Plain Sight. They give you a +1 to armor class and saving throws, so it's like a cloak of protection. But they also allow you to cast Disguise Self on yourself once per day.
Okay, so
Okay.
disguise self and what else?
+1 to armor class and saving throws. Oh, I'm sorry, you noticed one more thing in that search you did of the room, Finn. You also noticed there is a scroll sticking out from under the large chest. You can just see the corner poking out.
Okay.
So you're going to pull that
it
out.
Yep.
What's your Arcana bonus again? 6?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, no question. You look this over and you realize this is a scroll, a very old scroll, of Maximilian's Earthen Grasp, a 2nd level transmutation spell.
Sweet.
Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. All right, the mace. Who's got the mace?
I don't think anyone grabbed the mace.
No one grabbed the mace?
Do you want to grab the base and
Well,
play around with that?
Yeah.
Weren't you playing with the hilt, or someone
Yeah.
was playing with something?
I mean, I guess I can attune to multiple things at the same time.
Up to 3.
Yeah, I'll take the mace and the sword.
All right.
I'm not keeping them, obviously, because I'm not really into weapons, but...
Great. The mace, for the moment, all you can determine from it is that it's +1 to hit and +1 to damage. It's a +1 weapon. That's what you're able to figure out so far. You think it probably has other abilities, though. And for Darbin's Defending Any Blade, you have that one as well?
Uh-huh.
So that one, at the moment, all you can make it do is summon a weapon, a bladed weapon of your choosing. You can will it to create a dagger. It would be a dagger with a very long hilt, but it would be a dagger or a long sword or a bastard sword or even a great sword. You can make it create any of those at will, and it's +1. You think it has other abilities as well, but you don't know what they are yet.
Mhm.
And was there anything else? That was it.
That book?
Oh, the book.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
So the book is not something that you attune to. The book is a consumable. So
Yeah, I figure that it'll increase my charisma if I read it and learn how to better interact with people.
that's a good guess, yes.
All right, so I'll go ahead and hold on to the book. And as we sit around and we're all looking at everything and I'm doing my arcane recovery, I suggest to the group, why don't we divvy up the items that we have found in the way that it'll help us best? How about Appleflat takes the robe?
Okay.
How about Paxton takes the mace, since you only have proficiency with a few weapons, and since you have proficiency with most every weapon since you've been trained, you can take the hilt.
Tara can take the hilt, yeah.
So I'm going to argue that number one, this necromancer mace scares the hell out of me, so I don't want to have anything to do with it. Life clerics typically don't like necromantic items, but I would like to have that ring because then I could cast mage armor on you, and that would be something that I could do to be helping.
I give Paxton the ring.
Okay.
So what's that ring called again?
It is called the Ring of the Helpful Ally. And you can cast Mage Armor or Armor of Agathis on someone else. That's not yourself.
Once per day?
Yes.
Also, eventually, whenever I finish recovering, I'm gonna start scribbling the scroll into my notes, into my spell book.
Eventually, to learn it, you'll have to make I can't remember if it's an Arcana or intelligence check. We can look that up, but
Yeah, I think I just simply have to spend the time and the gold to be able to add it, and then just have the ability to cast a spell.
I think there's a DC 10 plus the spell's level that you have to make as well, but I can't remember. We can look that up.
That's fine. Yeah. In that case, does anybody want this mace? Or we can just sell it if nobody wants it.
The mace is almost too big for you or Athelflaed to use. It's a pretty hefty sized thing. You'd be good for a human or someone larger than a human even, but at least a human size.
Let's keep it for now then, and then let's see what we can do with it.
Just sell it and get rid of it.
That's fine. We have the other sword to sell as well.
I will remind you that the note said the weapons in here and the items in here were things that were good for helping other people, but maybe it could be a trick or something, but anyway, something to keep in mind. And also regarding the tome, the way tomes work basically, you have to study it for 48 hours, not continuously, but some 48 hours, 2 days during a 6-day period.
Okay.
Right? So during a 6-day period or fewer days, someone who wants to benefit from it needs to read it for a total of 48 hours.
Would that be able to be passed on? Like after one person's done with it, the next person can read it?
Let me make an Arcana check and see if Finn knows how that works. Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows that, in fact, a book like this can only be read and used like that to benefit you once every 100 years.
Oh, it's one of those. Okay. Yeah, the note said that there were 30 years left on that. Can I do an investigation check to see if I can say if it has been down here 30 decades and if it's active?
You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's been down here. It's been down here a long time, but you don't know if it's been down here 30 years or more.
But the magic seems to be active now.
It seems to be active now. You're not sure if reading it would work, but if it does, then that would suggest that that node and everything else that's down here has been down here 30 years.
Yeah.
And you notice the inkwell is completely dry. There's no moisture left in it. Everything's pretty dusty. Been untouched.
Okay.
So I have the hilt. I have gone out into the circular room and I'm trying to make it a longsword.
It's a longsword.
I'm like striking the air and like playing with it.
It works.
Yeah.
That's how you attune to it.
I'm pretty excited.
And it's a +1 weapon, just to be clear.
I say we head out. By the way, necromancy may be something like life stealing as well. So it might be every time you strike something, it takes energy and gives it to you. Yeah. It might not necessarily be negative, just simply dealing with life and death. Yeah.
Sometimes these schools for the spells are a little puzzling. For example, healing spells count as evocation.
Really?
Yeah. Which is weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
I would think that would be like abjuration. Yeah.
That's what I thought too. But healing spells are evocation, which is, I don't know, that's the way it is. So,
when you said that it was a necromancy mace, I'm assuming, like, whenever I think of necromantic items, they usually
the undead
look scary, have spiders on them, glow red, that kind of thing.
No, that's just the school of magic. That's not anything on it. That's no skulls on it or anything like that.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily look unholy.
No.
Okay, that's fine. No. I'll carry it around. I'm not promising to use it or anything.
Sure.
If you want, I can hold on to it until we go ahead and have someone more magically attuned inspect these items and tell us what they do thoroughly. Because I still want to go ahead and try to sell the sword that we had from before, the cursed sword.
Well, you can't necessarily carry it, right?
No, but I can use the mage hand to carry it.
Is it probably more than 10 pounds, right?
I don't know, it's slightly heavier than a normal mace. What does a normal mace weigh?
My unseen servant can carry it then.
Okay, let him have it.
As long as it's less than 30 pounds, the unseen servant can carry it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Then I'll just simply go ahead. Can you hold on to my backpack then?
Sure.
Okay. So I go ahead and drop the backpack, and then suddenly the mace starts floating behind me instead.
Okay.
All right.
That's funny. So Paxton doesn't even want to touch it. He's just not, he's just leery of it in every way.
Well, after that whole ordeal with the cursed sword, I feel like nothing good is going to come from me having weapons.
I worry a little bit about selling that one, in fact.
Yeah. Maybe we can find someone we trust to give it to, or
just learn more about it, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, as we're leaving the room, I make sure to take the clear diamond and the 3 emeralds from the wall.
You pry them out of the wall?
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I want those. I won't necessarily try to sell the diamond, but I'll definitely try to sell the emeralds. Are you okay with that?
Now, one of those emeralds is one of the buttons.
Oh, no. Not that one.
Okay.
can I hold on to the diamond and investigate it? Because I'm thinking if there's one big clear diamond, that maybe there's something special about that one thing.
Yeah. I didn't want to sell that one, but yeah, you can definitely hold on to it. After I pry it out, I give it to you a little reluctantly.
Right. You investigate it. It looks like a very valuable diamond.
Okay.
Yoink.
In that case, yeah, I'll take the 2 emeralds and the other. He pried out one of the purple corundums, and then the other one's a button, right?
Yes.
I pried it out, but then I put it back, so you would be able to just pry it out again if you wanted to.
Okay, then I'll pry out the corundum, and I'll take that and the emeralds.
All right, so what's next? Heading back to town?
Yeah, do you guys want to do anything else?
No. I'm at the end of a short rest, right?
Yes.
So,
If you want to expend hit dice to recover lost hit points, then you can do that.
okay. 2d8.
Are
6.
rogues D8 or D6?
Says D8.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah. 6 and a 7.
Okay, that puts you back up to full, I think.
I think only casters are D6 because
okay.
they're the super squishy.
It's not like old 2nd edition where wizards might start out with, 4 hit points.
Yeah.
Or less. So there's nothing else you guys want to do. I guess you could climb back down the cliff, get back into your boat, put some oil on the water, set it alight, row back to the shore, drag the boat up the shore a bit, make your way back to town.
What time is it by the time they'll get back in town?
It is afternoon.
Okay.
So you hiked over to the island in the morning of the 10th of 6th month. So you hiked over to the island the morning of the 10th of 6th month. You walked back that afternoon.
Okay.
You spent most of the day on the island.